Hello and welcome to another gear review with me, Anjay. Today we are looking at the cheapest reverb pedal I could find on eBay, the Eno Reverb. So, the Eno Reverb, £13 or £14 on eBay, although I have seen it go for as much as £40. It has 3 different modes of operation: red light for room, green light for spring, and red and green light for well, each one bringing its own unique flavour of digital reverb. We also have a level, a dry-wet mix, and a time control, these teeny tiny little pegs up here. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it looks pretty cool, it looks solid as hell. Let's have a listen to it. Okay, so we're all set up. I am using the reverb pedal in front of the amp because I don't have an effects loop, and in front of the reverb pedal I've got Betsy, my tube screamer. This is my clean sound, neck pickup, no effects. Reverb, everything at 12 o'clock, so level, dry, wet and time are on 12, and we're on the room reverb. A bit of dirt. So you can see it adds quite a nice sort of bit of reverb to that. We're going to move it up to spring reverb. And then onto the well reverb. So they all have their own flavour. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the dry wet all the way up to wet so you can hear what these sound like with no dry signal going through at all. Back onto room. Spring. Slightly more metallic sound like you'd expect. And then well. Which kind of sounds a bit warmer than the room one. Okay. Let's mess with the time a bit, putting the time all the way up, back onto room. And onto spring. Almost sounds a bit like delay on that setting. And then well. Just going to put level all the way up as well for fun. Still on well. Yeah, so it's sounding a bit more like delay now. Let's put it onto spring and see what that sounds like with everything on full. I'm not convinced that's a really realistic spring reverb at this point. That room. what, that's quite nice. Kind of nice for a sort of ethereal ambience. So what do you think? It's an interesting pedal, that, because on the sort of 12 o'clock settings, it's got some really nice warm reverb, some very good emulations of spring and room. As you turn it up, it gets a little bit crazy and sounds a bit more like delay, but actually has some really nice ethereal ambient sounds you can get out of it. Now, I said I paid about £13 or £14 for this. I've seen it on eBay from £13 or £14 up to £30 or £40. I think for 13 quid it's absolutely fantastic. I think for 40 quid it might be a bit... There are probably better ones out there. I'm sure there's a Tone City out there that's far better. But I like it. Now, few little words of warning with it. First one, it is very hard to see the dry wet marker because it's black on black. Genius in its own way. It's also very hard to see the marker for whether you're on room, spring, or well under lighting, because the shiny knob means you can't see it. But on room you get a red light, on spring you get a green light, and on well you get a red and green light show up. The other thing is it doesn't take high output pedals very well. So when I did the review of the Anchor last week, the reverb pedal, I found out later, was part of the reason that some of the really high gain stuff sounded so clipped. The actual reverb pedal itself couldn't handle the output. When I went back through the amp, it sounded fine. So it's a cheap pedal. It has cheap components, potentially. So there are some things to worry about there if you're looking for kind of real high output stuff. But obviously, if you were to put this in an effects loop, it'd be very different. Everything I've got is going straight into the pedal. So yeah, tell me what you think. Again, back to this whole thing. Are cheap pedals worth the money, or are they a waste of time? I think for 15 quid, 13 quid, whatever it was, that's a really good reverb pedal, and it will sit on my board until I can find something better. It complements the Donner Echo Square I've got really nicely. What pedals have you bought recently that you thought sucked? What pedals did you buy recently you thought rocked? Let me know in the comments, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you soon, my friends. Cheers.